Oh yeah.
It's the final day of Group B here at the 13th CISM World Military Women's Football Championship here in Spokane, Washington, as we await the most critical and anticipated matchup of the tournament as South Korea takes on France. Both nations trying to reach the gold medal match with a victory here today. Hi everybody, annyeonghaseyo, bonjour to those of you in South Korea and France. I'm Alex Gould. Alongside me, of course, is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. Merci. Gansad Media, thank you for joining us here this afternoon. Well, partner, this is the big one. Both of these nations have their eyes set on gold, but only one will get the chance to play Cameroon on Friday. This is the star-studded showdown we have been waiting for.
This is absolutely a huge match for both teams, and one will go to the gold and one will go to the bronze, so they will both have a chance at a medal, but I know they're both hoping for that gold medal match.
Let's take a look at the updated rankings. Both of these two nations are 3-0, of course. Both have 9 points and both looking to remain unbeaten. Let's talk about some of the scenarios here. As we mentioned, whoever wins this match is into the gold medal match against Cameroon, because Cameroon beat Belgium 8-0 yesterday. But if there is a draw, because France, you see on your screen there, has a it's a double difference against Korea in goal differential, they would go to the gold medal match. South Korea would go to the bronze if there's a draw.
You know, and I know they're not hoping for that draw, but coming out here, both of them are going to play hard, and like I said, one of them is going to get a gold medal match and the other, the bronze medal.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from yesterday. We'll start with the United States and their 5-0 victory over Ireland. Haley Robertson put 2 into the back of the net again for the United States to cap off a 5-0 victory. Kaylee Utley added another. It was her 4th tally of the tournament. So did Katie Gernsbacher as well. So they won 5-0. The U.S. did everything they could, but because Cameroon wound up beating Belgium 8-0, the United States are in the bronze medal to take on the loser of this match, or if they draw again, the United States will take on South Korea.
We've seen a lot of great play here for the first week of the CISM tournament, and rounding out the second week, we've seen even more great football here between the teams, and you can see that the tensions are high. Everyone's really excited here, closing in on the final days and the final matches until the championship matches.
Tabe, who scored a glut. That was 1 of 5 for Tabe, and she scored 5 of the 8. Cameroon led 6-0 at the half against Belgium. They added 2 more in the second half. This team is 1 win away, Shelby, from being the first ever African nation to win the gold medal. But even if they lose that gold medal match, they'd be the first African nation to ever win the silver.
Cameroon has done a phenomenal job out here on the pitch, playing the game that they play, and just so skilled and so quick. But the Belgian team held it strong there. They didn't give up until the very end against a Cameroon, a skilled team like that.
So you take a look, they're getting ready for the CISM March here, of course, that unites both nations. And we have a similar club that we've seen the whole time, Shelby, who is down there with these women.
The Spokane Surf Soccer Club, boys and girls, are down there walking out with the 2 teams, getting to walk out here in Union Stadium and holding hands as they get united here with the CISM March.
They practice this every day. Do the people holding the flags? Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman's out there every day making sure they are in sync and that this CISM March looks good. And of course, the CISM March will be followed by both national anthems. But this is the final day of group play. Maybe some nerves between South Korea and France, but I'll tell you what, Shelby, we haven't seen a lot of nerves between these 2 nations. They are calm, cool, and collected.
I'll tell you, I have some nerves, and I'm not even playing. I'm so excited to see the matchup between these 2 teams here today.
Right, I was going to say, my adrenaline's pumping a little bit. I can't imagine being out there on the pitch, being one of the 11 starting on both sides, or being on the bench getting ready to check in potentially in the second half. But this has been long awaited. And honestly, it's not automatically set up like this. They do a draw for the schedules, and just happened to be that these 2 teams, these 2 nations, were 3-0, 9 points coming in to this match. Now we will hear the national anthem for France, followed by the national anthem for South Korea.
And now the national anthem of France. And now the national anthem of South Korea.
Two beautiful national anthems there as we take a look at the referees in today's match. The referee is Wout Heichdel from Belgium, only 19 years old. This is just his second ever international match that he will be the head referee in. So maybe a little bit of pressure there, but I know he can handle it. The assistant referees are Megan Mullen from the United States and Paul Kavanagh from Ireland. The fourth official in today's match, also from the United States, is Laura Rodriguez. All right, let's take a look at the starting 11. First for South Korea, under head coach and manager Mi Yun-lee. Take a look there. In goal is Ji Hee-ha. The backs from left to right. Ah Room-han is the left back. Center back on the left side of the pitch is Da Hee-thong. And the right center back is In Young-saw. The right back, rounding out the back line, is Do Young-ban. Two holding midfielders for South Korea. Hyo Shang-shim on the left. Yi-na Park on the right. And then the four forwards today. The left wing is Da Young-choi. Attacking midfielder and sort of a forward role as well as the captain of this Korean team in Han Woo-kwan. The right wing is Chung Min Lee, and the center forward rounding out the starting 11 is So Young. Now let's take a look at France in a 4-5-1 formation today under head coach Marc Mouffra. The keeper is Audrey Dupapech. The left back is Vivian Boudot. Center back on the left side is Shuli Pascaro. The center back on the right side is Shuli Mahrishu. Then the right back is Alizé Lara. The holding midfielder is Melissa Goudard. And again, five in the middle of the pitch. The left mid is Marion Bronvacht. Left center mid is Rachel Corbos. The right center mid is Morrigan Duporche. And the right mid is Christy Gavary. Rounding out the starting 11 is their striker in Sarah Paulison, who has 4 goals on the tournament. So those are the starting 11, Shelby. They're getting ready to go. What more could you ask for? This is going to be some fantastic football.
The tensions are high here on the pitch, and South Korean team holding hands and chanting before they come out on the field, and France taking a picture to really soak in this last game of group play and possible win for them here today.
Let's take a look real quick at the tail of the tape as this South Korean team huddles up. France getting some water before they come on. Again, we just talked about it. You see the goal differential, 15 for France, 13 for South Korea. So if we get to a scenario where it's 80-plus minutes in and it's a tie, you're going to see South Korea push more up and attack, go on an all-out attack, and you may see France park the bus.
We'll see out here. I think both teams, they've been watching each other throughout the tournament and coming up with some strategies, anticipating the play for this last match.
It is 93 degrees Fahrenheit, 33.9 degrees Celsius. It is hot out on the turf, and because of the turf, it's about 8 to 10 degrees warmer, so it's about 100 degrees out there. 16-hour time difference in South Korea. So if you're just waking up, getting ready for work on Thursday morning, we say hello, good morning to those of you in South Korea. And in France, maybe you stay up a couple of hours later here. It's 12:30 in the morning, a 9-hour difference. But if you're joining us stateside, welcome wherever you may be. This is a critical match and very much anticipated between these two. As Sarah Paulison, who has 4 tallies, is getting ready in center circle. You see the referee there, and Wout Heichdel in just his second ever international match. We'll see how he calls this one today.
We have a pretty good turnout of fans here today, and I know that we have an even bigger turnout in South Korea and France watching from home. So, like you said, hi, thank you for joining us, and we're all excited to get underway here in Union Stadium, Spokane, Washington.
So Group A finished yesterday. Cameroon with 12 points. They went 4-0. They were dominant in Group A. And the match was decided between them and the United States. If the United States would have beat Cameroon, the United States would have went to the gold medal match. Instead, because the U.S. lost 2-1 on a 79th minute goal by Tabe, Cameroon, first African nation ever, playing for gold. You know they are watching at home and trying to scout one of these two, whoever will join them in that gold medal match, the loser. Or if it's a tie, it'll be South Korea, but the loser of this match will take on the United States for bronze. But we are underway here in Spokane. Both teams very tactical, very patient, and very poised And I think both of these nations, Shelby, they play with a lot of pace, but the right amount of pace. They'll push, but if they don't have something, they'll play through their backs like France is doing right here.
Exactly, and having the skill to know when do we turn it on, when do we turn it off, that speed, that quickness, the pace of play. Like you said, slowing it down in the back sometimes is the best option.
It looks like they sort of switched Marichou and Pasquarot. It looks like Pasquarot is more on the right and Marichou's on the left as the center back. So you can see right here. So France controlling the possession here in the first minute of the match. That's the keeper and Audrey Dupapech. There is Shuli Pasquarot. Pasquarot, Shelby, if you'll remember, got 2 yellow cards, so she had to miss last match for France. So the French are happy to have her back. He is one of their starting center backs.
And what a match to come back out in as well. Such a turning point for the two teams.
Number 19, Da Young Choi. Number 20, Ah Roon Han. And number 21, Ji Hee Ha.
Could be a chance here for South Korea. Good deflection there with the left foot by Marichou. South Korea and France, both of these nations are so good defensively, but also so good defensively on their attacking third. They put so much pressure on the ball. Their forwards, their strikers, their attackers know exactly when to put pressure and when to hold back. That pass was intended for Paulison. It was intercepted there by Da Hee Thong.
It really is the intensity of both teams being able to get the ball and those 50-50s like we talked about a little bit on their attacking half and making sure that even though the other team has it, they're kicking it out, they're trying to clear it, the goalkeeper's trying to kick it out, but being first to the ball to make another attack.
A free kick here for South Korea, and Da Hee Thong, she will take it. So Han-Nul Kwan, the captain, is back in the lineup. There were 6 players out for South Korea last match. They only had 3 deep on the bench, but they were still able to beat Mali 4-1. South Korea's 3 wins. First one came against Canada 6-0, then Mali 4-1, and the Dutch 4-1. Chance here for South Korea. So Young. Good defense there by Pasquarot. Actually, that was Marichou. Marichou with 2 big interceptions so far to make sure nothing could happen.
I think you heard it too. Everyone kind of thought that was a great opportunity for the South Korean team, but just stifled by Marichou there in the back.
Good run by Christy Gavalry. So for South Korea, Jungmin Lee has 3 goals for them, but they have spread out the attack. They have so many goal scorers in this tournament. For France, they've also spread it out, but Paulison is their stellar striker. She's got 4 in third place for amount of goals in this tournament. Had 1 last match against Canada in the 67th minute. That ball a little bit too much off the right foot of the captain, and Han-Nul Kwan. She was looking for So Young. But we weren't sure if Han-Nul Kwan was going to be able to play. We weren't sure how deep the bench would be for South Korea this afternoon. And, well, looks like pretty much all healthy. I think they still have 2 players out today. That pass by Do Young Ban, intercepted here by Vivian Boudot. A lot of the French players as well against Canada, Shelby, didn't check in. A lot of their starters didn't check in until about the 50th or 60th minute in that match against Canada because of yellow cards. They wanted to make sure that, A, they rested their legs, but B, they wanted to make sure if you get 2 yellow cards at any point in this tournament, you have to sit out the next match. Whether you agree with the rule or not, that is the rule. Good turn and goal. Hanul Kwan. The pass not there to Chungmin Lee.
Well, now even more than ever, the players on the French team and on the South Korean team who have yellow cards need to be extra careful, because if they do get it, and for some reason that team was to go on to the gold medal match, they'd have to sit out for that match.
And that was protested by a lot of coaches. A lot of managers said, we don't agree with that, but the rule stood. So if you pick up a second yellow card here today, you're out. Here's a left-footed cross. Chance for France. It's punched out by the keeper and Ji Hee Ha. And now the counter is on. This is where the French have to be careful. Hyo-Shung Shim with some space. Plays it out wide to Yi Na Park. So a good ball by Boudot, but the keeper decisive by Ji Hee Ha to come out and punch it away. But South Korea, realizing they didn't have anything, slowed it down. They wanted to push. Hyo-Shung Shim realized that she didn't have enough attackers, pulled it back.
Again, it's a lot of trust between the players, being able to pass it back to your goalkeeper and trust that they're able to make the right decision and how fast-paced they want to make the play to make sure it gets up in the offensive without any of this pressure from the French team.
Not a good decision there by Yi Na Park. Thought she could split some defenders. Dupourche with a push, but nothing called, so this will be a throw-in here for France. France has won 1 gold medal. That was back in 2016, so 6 years ago they won the gold. Right foot. This is going to stay inside the penalty area. Christy Gavary plays it back. Lara crosses it in, trying to find the head of Paulison. Still inside the 18. South Korea get it out of there. Arum Han. And a push. That will be a foul on France, so a free kick for South Korea. France, as I mentioned, won their lone gold back in 2016, and that was in France. They got to host. That was the second time they hosted. They hosted back in 2010 as well. And France beat the other 7 nations there. For South Korea, they have never won the gold. They won the silver back in 2009 and 2010. And they also won the silver in 2012 and 2018. South Korea is 0-4, Shelby, in gold medal matches. Of course, they're not looking too far ahead, and they have to beat France here. No easy task to get there. But it would be their 5th appearance in the gold medal match.
What great motivation, though. Not having the chance to get it there for 5 years, but being this year might be the chance for them to get that gold medal.
North Korea won in China in 2019, Brazil in 2018. The last time it was here in the States, that was in El Paso. So Brazil has been to the gold medal match 6 times. Germany has been there 6 as well. So if South Korea can get there this year, they will be just behind those 2 nations. It will be their 5th appearance. France is 1-2 in gold medal matches. Do-Young Ban to throw it in here for South Korea. 10 minutes in, 0-0 between these 2 nations. Say possession's about 50-50 so far. Just like we expected.
I agree. I think both these teams are very evenly matched here, and that's why this game is so important to see which one is going to be able to just get that 1 up, that 2 up of the goals to get ahead to go to the gold medal match.
Here's Lara. Tried to find Paulison, but too much pressure from Arum Han. Boudot. Porsche was looking for a teammate there. He was looking for Marion Brunvacht. The connection wasn't made, and now a free kick for South Korea. So pass back to the keeper here. That's Dupapech. Hasn't been tested a whole lot in this tournament. France, they've only allowed 1 goal, and that was to Mali in their 5-1 victory. South Korea has allowed 2. That's a big reason why the goal differential is what it is. South Korea allowed 1 to Mali and 1 to the Dutch. That actually wound up being a critical goal that they allowed an additional time to the Netherlands. Because if they draw here, they will not go for the goal. This is a free kick. Could be a chance for South Korea. And that will go over everyone's head. It will be a goal kick. Good dispossession. Altaichdel says play on. And then no one there. Miscommunication. Melissa Goudart was looking for Paulison, but Paulison was out wide on the far flank. South Korea all tournament has actually had, I don't want to call it struggles, but I think they play a lot slower in the first 20 or 30 minutes. They don't want to gas themselves out. And then you'll see around the 30th minute in the first half, they pretty much split it into 2/3 of the match. Looks like they're going all out, everything. The first third of the match, it's a little more calm, cool, and collected like we talked about, a little bit more under control. That's headed back to the keeper. We've seen this a lot, Shelby. This could be an opportunity. Good give and go. Han Kwan. Or excuse me, that is not Han Kwan. That is Hyoshang Shim. There's Han Kwan. Out wide. Arum Han. Right now, South Korea having a tough time connecting some of these little passes. You see Paulison. What a move. Paulison tried to get it to Corboz. Corboz couldn't get there in time. Instead, it was Dahi Thon.
I think, too, I'm seeing the French team also struggling a little bit with making those connecting passes, but it almost seems like it's nerves. They're going a little bit quicker than they normally would, not really looking around, and could be just nerves here in the first couple of minutes of the first half.
Do Young Ban made a run, but In Young Sa couldn't connect with her. So 16 minutes in, roughly, 16th minute. 0-0 between France and South Korea. Good ball here. A couple of sevens battling. Was last touched, they're going to say, by Marion Ronvacht. Dangerous there. Right in front of us, you can hear all the oohs and ahs.
Well, there is a pretty large crowd for today's game, and we were talking about it. Everyone is so excited to see the turnout of the match.
We have gone back and forth between three nations, Cameroon, South Korea, and France. Who is the best team overall? It's just hard to decide. And realistically, sometimes the best team doesn't always win. That's why they're settling it out on the pitch. But France and South Korea, you've heard so much chatter amongst fans, amongst personnel, everyone taking this in, as well as social media, making their predictions. And it seemed like even that was 50-50 between South Korea and France. And Cameroon and the United States were clearly the two best teams in Group A. Cameroon slightly better, and they edged the U.S. team 2-1. That is going to be a foul called on Boudot.
I think you're right, and it's hard to make any predictions here with these two teams. They both have their strengths and very few weaknesses for both teams, and just being able to play together all the time. A lot of these teams, or both these teams here, play often together, and having the charisma and the chemistry to be able to make some of these passes wouldn't normally happen for a lot of teams that don't play together all the time.
And a lot of people thought that that was the big difference, maybe, in this match, is that these players from South Korea play together year-round on the same team, on this military team. Han Kwan is one of the leaders for the South Korean national team. She reached the century mark in matches, part of the Century Club. Everyone else, semi-professional, but play together. This French team, you have a lot of professional talent, but they're broken up into different sectors and sections. So you have three that play for one club, three that play for another. So when this team was assembled, that's something that Marc Muffro talked about, and he said, listen, he goes, we have a lot of talent. He goes, I think we could be the best team in the tournament, if not the best. But he said, can these women, that's what he challenged them, can they all play together rather than just seeing three connections here, here, and here, whether it's in the middle of the pitch, up on the attack, or the back line. This is inside the 18, looking for the head, just over the head that time of So Young Yang, and it will be a goal kick here for Dupaper. So good look there for South Korea, but again, just long on that free kick.
It's almost like an immediate interception there by the South Korean team to get it back on their offensive.
And it's not a player you want to see down for France. That is Morgan Duporche. Duporche has 3 goals in this tournament. Scored 1 against Mali in the 68th minute. Also 2 against the Dutch in their first match.
Duporche, a key member for the French team, and she's played soccer since she was 6 years old. Just having it there in her blood.
Good interception there. Han Kwan tried to get it out wide to her teammate there, and Da Young Choi. We talked about the fans here. Most of them are on our side of the bleachers, of course. But there's a lot of South Korean flags, Some French flags are waving, some French banners are waving. So whether it's people that have traveled from South Korea or France or are living here in the States, some good support for both of these teams.
Absolutely. We've seen the Spokane Area Korean Association out here every single South Korean game, and they have a ton of fans coming out here supporting the South Korean team.
Do Young Bang. Ooh, the ball was there. It still gets to Yina Park, but not exactly what Chungmin Lee was trying to do because it was deflected, and a foul is going to be called against Makrion Brandvakt.
There's something I kind of thought about here during the fans, and we were talking about that too, is a lot of the people, or some people here in the Spokane area, may be from these nations originally and not really having a ton of chances to show pride there. But this is one of the unique ways that they can come here and support their nation who have traveled all this way to the U.S. to come play these teams.
In Young Sa, good ball into the penalty area. Deflection. Hanul Kwan might take a left foot try, and it deflected off her teammate there in Da Young Choi. Otherwise, maybe Hanul Kwan have had a chance to test the keeper there and do paper.
A little bit of a bold move there for Brandvakt, to turn it on the inside right there in front of the goal box.
Yina Park. This is into the 18. What a play there by Shuli Mahrashu. Boy, that could have been dangerous. Chungmin Lee was waiting for that ball to come down right to her just outside the 6. Instead, put it away, and this will be a South Korean corner. Hyoshang Shim to take it here. SFC in the South Korean Army. He scored against the Netherlands last match. Now trying to set up the first for South Korea here in the 23rd minute. Hyoshang Shim. Now it's Hanul Kwan. See if she wants to play it back. Here is Shim again. Goes to her left. Do Young Ban. Ban? Great defense there from Alizi Lara. Alizi Lara with the counter. It's 3-on-3. Tug of the jersey. And referee Wao Taidel says play on. Here's Paulison. Working 1v3 there. And a foul going to be called on South Korea. So a foul there goes against Chungmin Lee. And it will be a free kick here. This is about 26 yards out. Call it 27. About 9 yards outside the penalty area. 27 yards out. Bose is in there, so is Paulison. Both can make it here. Also have the option to try and kind of chip one into the 18, find a teammate. Paulison lining up. She has 4 tallies in this tournament. It's a 5-woman wall here for South Korea. Bose could also take it with the left if they elect to do that. Duporsche is to the left of Paulison. Sarah Paulison testing the keeper, and a save there by the keeper in Ji Hee Ha. Ji Hee Ha tested one of the first times today and makes the save. And in that situation, Shelby, I know you want to talk about it. Paulison is hoping that that ball maybe caroms off the chest of Ji Hee Ha and someone is there to clean it home.
We've seen the entire tournament in almost every game, the deflections off the goalie have been deadly and have been really beneficial to getting another touch on the ball for a goal, and I think that's exactly what she was looking for there.
Boudreaux was looking for Paulison. It was intercepted nicely by Da Hee Thong. And now some space. Here is Chongmin Lee. Chongmin Lee trying to switch sides of the pitch. Was looking for Da Young Choi. Dupapech gets it out of there. So back and forth these teams go. Here's Hanu Kwan with some space. Didn't play last match. You know, she was eager to get back out on the pitch today. Hanu Kwan, left foot, inside the penalty area. Player goes down, no call. Perfectly positioned are these South Korean defenders. That was In Young Sa.
And a perfect one-touch, I think, making sure she had pressure from Paulison there in the front and was able to just one-touch it to the other defender and able to get it out.
Yo Shangxiam over the head of Boudreaux. It will trickle out though, so a throw in for Boudreaux and France. It looks like this is going to be the hydration break here in the first half, so these ladies can reset, get hydrated, talk over the strategy. It is hot out here, as we talked about. 93 degrees Fahrenheit, 33.9 degrees Celsius.
But you talk about the heat, but I want to talk about the breeze. This is the first time I think that we've had to battle the wind as much as we have here up in the booth, but it has been so nice to have this breeze, and I know the teams are so thankful to have a cool breeze, at least kind of helping them out when they have a chance to take a break.
So let's take a look at the goal-scoring leaders. Tabe had 3 going in to the match yesterday against Belgium, and now you see she's got 8 heading into that gold medal match. A glut for Tabe. 5 goals in one match. I can't remember the last time I saw that.
I've never seen that in my life, and I was telling you, never heard glut in my life either.
Haley Robertson now with 6. That was her second brace of the tournament. Robertson had a hat trick in the first half of the very first match, also against Belgium. So going into the bronze medal match, she has 6. And you see the rest there on the board. Umu Koni is in there as well. Nanga is in there as well for Cameroon. Koni, of course, for Mali. Our nightcap, the final match of Group B will be Canada taking on Mali. So Canada looking for their first win, looking for their first goal of the tournament. Mali got their first ever win in the World Military Women's Football Championship with a 3-1 defeat of the Dutch last match. So stick with us. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson, and our wonderful crew. And then everyone gets a day off tomorrow.
I think all the teams, including our team, are so excited to have a little bit of a day off tomorrow to enjoy the Spokane area, kind of get to see the lakes. I know that there's a ton of lakes here in the surrounding area, and both teams need a break, especially the teams here that are playing, because they will be playing in the match on Friday.
And match is on Friday, right? You got the gold medal match will be at 4 p.m. Pacific time. The bronze medal match between the United States and the loser of this match, or if they tie, it'll be South Korea. That match will take place at noon Pacific time. And then the 9th, 7th, and 5th place matches will all be at 9 a.m. on the fields behind Union Stadium, on the pitches back there. Those will not be streamed. So a lot of people have been asking. The 5th, 7th, and 9th place matches will take place at 9 a.m. Pacific time. No stream for those. We have to get ready for the bronze medal match. Our crew will get here about 9 a.m. to set up for the noon match between the United States and either South Korea or France.
You know, as much as we wish we could, our team cannot be everywhere all at once. So we are so happy to be able to at least get the chance to live stream the gold and bronze medal matches for everyone watching, not from watching at home, watching here, and for everybody else that may be watching.
So back after the hydration break. Anything you're looking for, Shelby, here out of the hydration break? Anything you want to see from either side?
I'd like to see some connecting passes. We know that they can do it. Both France and both South Korea, we know that they can make these one-touch passes, these give and goes, with accuracy and with passion. But we're not seeing it too much here in the first half. Like you were talking, it seems like they're having some trouble connecting the smaller passes.
You think nerves plays a factor into that at all? Or do you think really good defense, good midfielders intercepting and studying each team, getting the chance to scout, they know the next move is coming?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, both teams are phenomenal at anticipating the passes, and because they play so similar, it is easier to anticipate those passes and then intercepting the little passes that they're trying to make, and that could play a factor in while they're not connecting.
And this is not a good sight here for South Korea. This is Chungmin Lee, who has 3 tallies on the tournament. She's an experienced team captain for the last couple of years. She is down, so the trainer coming out to check on the left leg. Chungmin Lee getting back up here. And she's going to come off the pitch because of the stoppage. Having trouble as of right now putting weight on the left leg. So while the trainer looks at her, South Korea will be down a woman here. So Chungmin Lee says she's good to go back on. Chungmin Lee is back on, as you see right there on your screen. Arashu and Pascaro have done a nice job so far in the back line, but as I say that, Pascaro gives it right to Hanul Kwan, who anticipated that pass perfectly. Ball here by Hyoshang Shim. Udo. I think she could be a major difference maker in this match. So much length. And now getting set up. Here is Budo. Budo, left foot cross, deflected by Young Sa, and this will be a corner kick for France. This will be their first corner of the match. So taking the corner here is going to be Marion Brandvacht. So Brandvacht, can she set up the first for France? In the 34th minute. Only 2 French players plus the keeper outside of the penalty area. Van Bracht looks for the far post. Young Sa trying to get it out of there. Porsche plays it back. This is Lara. Lara tried to find Paulison, and a little bit too much. It finds the keeper and Ji Hee Ha.
Great play there to pass it back when you know that there's so many people crowded right there in front of the goal, passing it back and allowing your teammates to reset. You can tell that's just great football.
So much time left here in this match, but a draw does South Korea no good. If these 2 teams tie, if they draw, France is into the gold medal match. No reason to panic yet, but score stays 0-0. You trickle into 70-plus minutes, South Korea will be on the attack a lot more, just like this. Hanul Kwan, the captain, finds her teammate, Chungmin Lee. Chungmin Lee out wide. Left foot cross, deflected. Can France get out of there? They do. That is Boudot. Van Broek. They are trying to find Paulison any way they can. Give credit to the South Korean back line. They have been man-marking all over Paulison so far in the first half.
South Korean team making it hard to get the ball to the French, just man-marking and causing so much pressure there in their offensive half.
Foul called there. That was against Melissa Goudard. And it may look like maybe there's not a lot of pace in this match. 0-0. It's actually not the case. There's pace, but it comes with patience. That's what we talked about as one of the storylines coming into this match. Both teams are so even in the way they play and their styles. It might look a little slower, but that's because they're waiting out their opponent, trying to find the best passes they can. Arubhan gets to it there.
A lot of times in teams you'll see just immediate pressure and just trying to force the ball in the offensive and really wearing themselves out, wearing their teammates out, and then by the second half they're pooped, right? But these teams, they know they don't want that to happen. They can take the time to make those accurate passes and make those give and goes and do the right plays that it needs to do to build up an offensive attack that can score.
Yeah, and you just said the give and goes, the one touch and go and getting it right back from the teammate. Both of these nations experts at that. But that's where scouting comes in. Watching film and coming to the pitch and watching each team play, they know when those give and goes are coming. Van Broek left it there, thought there was a teammate in Corbeau's in the middle of the pitch, and she was out wide on the far flank. Do Young Ban. Yi Na Park. Yo Shung Shim. And then back to Da Hee Thong. Yo Shung Shim was looking for a runner there in Da Young Choi. It was picked off. Christy Gavary. Gavary. Here is Duporsche. Duporsche inside the penalty area. Duporsche skies one up in the air. The field goal was good, but Duporsche, who was trying to get a touch on it back to herself to control the ball a little bit better, couldn't do so.
I'd say that was probably one of the best plays that we've seen here in the game so far, is Gavary passing it up there, and then Duporsche already a little bit frustrated with herself that she didn't get a better touch on the ball, but I think the idea was there.
That foul was called on Julie Pascaro. It looked like Pascaro got a yellow card there. So Pascaro, who had to miss last match because she got 2 yellow cards, now gets a yellow here. So that's her 3rd yellow of the tournament. And one more for her in this match. Not only is she out, but France is down a woman. And she would have to miss either the bronze medal match or the gold medal match. So she's really got to be careful.
I think we really want to see some physical play, being aggressive, and of course the tensions, like we said, are so high in this game in particular, but we definitely don't want to see France play down a player. And I know that the French coaches don't want to either.
Here is Boudot on the near side. Plays it to the middle. Goudard. That ball was there, but it got over the head of her teammate Ngavary. The turf sometimes, we talk about that, ball's bouncing a little bit more, and so a lot of these South Korean players and French players maybe not used to playing on an American football field. But now they've at least gotten used to it, playing 3 matches or so. But the touch sometimes, you can see they try and make adjustments on the touch to take a little bit off of it at times. Sometimes it's too much off of it, and sometimes they don't take enough off. So I'm still trying to learn how the ball is going to bounce here at Union Stadium.
Yeah, that's another great point, though. All these teams have had at least 3 games to really practice on this field, to play on this field, learn the ways of the turf, the ways of the temperature of the field, things like that. So they are all well prepared, unprepared at least, to play this game here with the conditions that are today.
So 42nd minute, closing stages of the first half here. Will anybody blink before halftime?
We talk about it a lot. That first goal, or in the first half, really causes so much motivation, so much pride, and then I feel like usually the game kind of picks up pace after that. And since we haven't seen one of those, coming into the second half, maybe with 0-0 draw, we might not see a little bit more aggression here in the second half.
South Korea has scored in its previous 3 matches each time in the first half. France was shut out for the first time last match against Canada. They didn't score until Belkacemi headered one into the back of the net in the 62nd minute. This is played to 0-0 so far. Boudot said she could be a difference maker. Boudot, Corbeau's. Can she make something happen? Corbeau's left foot laser, and it hit the American football crossbar. So Corbeau's just a little bit too much with that left foot, and we're still knotted up 0-0.
What a great job by her to press it out to the side, just a little push pass, making sure she got the time and the best opportunity to hit it in, and making it in between the crossbar and that goalpost is not easy.
That's probably harder to do than scoring. We've talked about that. We've seen it a lot. And the referees have had to be on that. At times it kind of gets one of those, and they're not sure what it touched, who it was touched off of, and whether it was a touch by the keeper. Obviously, that one was a little bit more clear. But sometimes they have to see whether it bangs off of the football crossbar rather than the American football crossbar, because if it bangs off of the soccer crossbar or football crossbar, it's still in play if it stays on the pitch. Good ball here by Lee. This is Ina Park. Good give and go. Jungmin Lee, 44th minute, into the penalty area, and it will be stopped by Dupapet.
What a great pass, and I think Halno Kwan really saw that she could have had it there and just needed to run a little bit faster, and you saw her clapping because she knew that was a great pass. She just didn't get to it.
So 45th minute, there will be 3 minutes added. So we got about 3.5 minutes left. Good interception there. Hano Kwan. Boy, how witty was that? Realizing that the keeper in Dupapet was on the edge of the 18. Tried to test Dupapet. Didn't get enough on it.
We've seen it time and time again in this tournament. 3 minutes is not, or is plenty of time for a goal here. And we saw a lot of teams take advantage of the time that they have, and I think South Korea is going to try to attack as hard as they can here in the last 2.5 minutes-ish.
There will be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time.
So it's been announced. 45 plus 3. Yeah, just a little bit much from both of these nations here. Pass accuracy for both of these countries have been pretty picture perfect in this tournament. Not a good touch there. Could be a chance for South Korea. Da-Young Choi. But is stopped immediately by Pascaro.
You have to think, Pascaro and Mauricio, their center backs have really had a touch on the ball almost every single attack by the South Korean team.
And now it looks like, too, France, at least a little bit, is pulling, you see, Paulus in there, pulling her up just to see if she can get a touch on her boot. Or Bose plays it out wide. This is Galvary. Galvary stays to her right, still to her right. Arum Han, and Galvary ran out of room. Do Young Ban, here is Lee, and Lee, good deflection. So about 60 seconds or so left here in the first half. 0-0 between South Korea and France, and Boudot realized immediately. So it could be one last chance here for South Korea to set something up. We'll see if Do Young Ban wants to get it onto their attacking third or wants to play it to the far side of the pitch here for Da Hee Thong. So much at stake. When the flag went up, that's why you heard the whistle. That was Paul Kavanagh, the assistant referee from Ireland. I think that's one of the first times we've seen the flag come up from either assistant referee. And that is it. We knew, Shelby, that this match would be 50-50. Flip a coin, pick which side is going to blink first. No one has blinked so far through the first half. It is 0-0.
You know, before we were talking about the stakes for it being a full game, trying to get that score. Now it's only got, these teams only have half of a game, 45-ish minutes to get one in the back of the net to get the one up on the other team.
So 0-0. These two nations are going to talk over their strategy. Remember, if this score stays the same after 90 plus, France would go to the gold medal match. So South Korea needs a win to face Cameroon on Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. All right, well, we're going to step aside, but we've got another great package for you guys. This time, it's the Belgian team. Matt Hester caught up with the Belgian team and talked about their pride and resilience and their experience. And also, too, some great time lapses from our audio guru and Sam Morse. We will see you on the other side of the half.
It's really an honor to be able to represent Belgium. I never thought that I would be doing this, so I'm really glad to be here.
Our matches were not so good, but okay, 10 minutes after the game, well, we are a little bit down, but after that we can put it ahead, and the vibe is really great.
In the team there are a lot of different profiles, different ranks, different specializations. So for me, it's a big opportunity to meet girls that are doing some different functions than me.
Everybody is really a soldier or a captain. So everybody is really military, but we are all very proud to be here. And also, because it's for the women's team, it's an extra motivation to show us, the girls and the women everywhere around the world. So it's nice to have that.
I want to thank the people back home that are watching, because they are supporting us, even when it's difficult, because there is a different time zone. So back home it's like in the middle of the night when we are playing the games. So I want to thank them to follow our games while they should be in bed.
Dank u om te kijken. Thank you for watching.
3 shots for France, 2 for South Korea. 0-0 here as we get ready to start the second half. Let's take a look at the rankings, at the standings, to remind everybody, Shelby, what's at stake. Cameroon, they're already in the gold medal match. You see it right there on your screen. They went 4-0. That goal differential, by the way, at 24 is amazing. But France and South Korea, the winner of this match will meet Cameroon at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Friday in the gold medal match. The loser will face the United States at noon Pacific time in the bronze medal match. But yet again, Shelby, the big thing to look at here, since it's 0-0, right now it's tied up going into the second half. If the match ends in a draw, France will go to the gold medal match because of the goal differential.
Both teams, I don't think they were expecting to come out here and be 0-0 in the first half. They were both coming out here hoping to get at least 1 or 2 in the back of the net to get the motivation going for the first half. But now we're here, second half, 0-0. Both teams will be interested to see what kind of changes and adjustments they made to try to come out bigger and better in the second half.
So some of the discussion here, I could hear it amongst fans and people talking here at the stadium, and we get to talk about it, to see the French sign there. When does France, if it's still 0-0 here in the second half, when are they a little bit more defensive-minded? When are they okay and content with a draw?
You know, I think everyone in the tournament is trying to look at those different specific circumstances when you have to adjust defensively or offensively to get the score that you want. But I have a feeling that France might just want to keep going. You know, I feel like their team is very confident in their offensive and very confident in their defensive line as well. So I think they might not even kind of park the bus, like you like to say, and they might just keep going.
And for South Korea, then, the question is, when are you going all-out attack? And we know that the answer is not right away, of course, but is it the 60th minute? Is it the 70th minute? Do you wait until the final 10 minutes if it's 0-0? And, of course, this conversation could be a moot point if someone strikes right away. So there is a substitution for South Korea. Song Mi-eun is into the match. She is in for number 17, So Young-yong. So it's 10 in for 17. Song Mi-eun onto the pitch. So Young-yong is off.
So South Korea already making a few changes here at the very first start of the second half, bringing in some new legs and seeing what they can make happen.
And that is the only substitute. So France playing with their starting 11 here to start the second half. That's Boudot. That is Corbos. Plays it out wide here. This is Galvary. Galvary testing the keeper. A diving save there by Ha. So Ha makes the save, and she likes to take her time when she gets up. So a good try there by Christy Galvary, but nothing to show for it again for France. But I think that's what you want to see as you take a look at the replay here again. Galvary testing Ha there. Might have been on frame. It was real close. Could have pinged off the post, but might have gone in. Corbos has done a nice job orchestrating here. Still orchestrating. Corbos trying to play the through ball, but still keeping it alive inside the penalty area. But Corbos couldn't locate it. And then a foul there.
I think I know what you're saying. Coming out hard and already having your first shot in the second half within the first few minutes really just shows how tenacious this French team is coming out.
Yeah, that has to please Marc Meffra, the head coach and the manager for this French military team. Trying to test the keeper and Han, push on the attack immediately. So with every minute that goes by, there's more pressure on South Korea. Still early here in the second half, but France's best friend at some point in this match could be the clock. Boudot to throw it in. Throws it inside the penalty area. There's Paulison. Ball took a couple of bounces off the head. That's Gavary. Duporche out wide. This is Brandvacht. Brandvacht, it was deflected. Brandvacht keeps it in. And Brandvacht crossed one in. Inside the penalty area. That was off the head of Ing Young Sa. Marishu to Pascaro, the two center backs who have held stout so far. Lara, the right back. Marishu into the penalty area. Paulison, but the flag is up, offside.
I kind of like what you said there. It's almost like South Korea has two opponents here. It's the French team, of course, but the clock, right? They have to score at least one goal here to get to any of the matches, to get to the gold medal match.
Cameroon awaits. They did their hard work yesterday. It paid off. 6 goals in the first half against Belgium as Duporche gets a touch on it here. Oregon Duporche out wide. Here is Gavary. Gavary inside the penalty area. Paulison to Corbeau's. It's pinged around and then caught in the air by Ji Hee Ha. I'm slightly surprised there, Shelby, that Paulison didn't try and take a shot and test the keeper in Ji Hee Ha.
Well, I think so too, and so much pressure from the South Korean team right there. There was 3 of them right next to Paulison, ready to deflect the shot.
But so far, in the first 5 minutes of this second half, it has been all France. We understand that that can change in a hurry. Good deflection. Good ball here. This is Chongmin Lee. Chongmin Lee. Chongmin Lee, right foot cross, but it's right to Dupapek, and Dupapek makes the stop. That was a great ball over there on the far flank by the substitute and Song Mi An. And then Chongmin Lee was looking for a cutting teammate to the 6, but could not find a teammate because Dupapek was in the perfect position. And we talked about this in the first half. They did the French, later on in the first half, bringing Paulison back a little bit to come get the ball and put it at her feet to maybe get a chance for her to create something. You can see Paulison here. She's not necessarily in a forward position. Playing more in the middle of the pitch. Out wide, Lara. Lara, good stop. Arum Han defending her. Lara, left foot. Duporche into the 18. No call. Maltaidel says, get up and we play on.
I think a little of that bringing Paulison back is almost her covering for her defenders who have the confidence and the skill to bring up the ball, like we just saw Lara up there all the way in the right corner, the near corner here, and then Paulison kind of switched back with her as soon as she came back to her position.
France definitely the aggressors here in the second half. We were talking about them playing more defensive-minded, but they have done a really nice job on the attack. And speaking of attack, this is South Korea. Good move here. This is Do Young Choi. Do Young Choi looking for a teammate. It's cleared away there by Shuli Mahrashu, and it will be a throw-in for South Korea. It feels like for South Korea, that may be their best opportunity, like we talked about in the first half, to score on a counter. For France, they like to play on the attack for 90 minutes. Do Young Ban to throw it in here for South Korea. Ina Park. In Young Sa slipped when she booted it down the pitch. Good ball here. Von Brocht with some space on the far flank. See if she wants to come towards the middle of the pitch. A shot for Von Brocht, and it's punched over the crossbar. What a strike there from the left wing, and Marion Von Brocht, and a great save by Ji Hee Ha.
Ji Hee Ha making that terrific save, stretching, and the shot there, stretching all the way and punching it there over the crossbar. Wow, what a play.
Terrific all around. So Ji Hee Ha saves a goal there. Von Brocht from way out. It's about 30 yards out. This is Rachel Corpos. Corpos trying to set up the first for France. Punched away by Ha. Could be a left foot try, but it's over everything there off the left foot of Christy Gavary. And South Korea stands defensively. And Ji Hee Ha standing tall inside the 6, inside the 18.
Really, the French team has had us on our seats here for the past minute and a half, just on the offensive, making those shots.
We went from, we were just talking about the counterattack. We went from South Korea having a throw in there over by the corner flag on the far flank to within a matter of seconds, a right foot rocket from Christy Gavary. And it was punched over by Ji Hee Ha. That is how quick this French team is. They keep trying to find Han Nul Kwan here, the captain. One of the best national players for South Korea. She is on their national team. Good ball out wide. So precise is this South Korean team. Arum Han. Deflected again by Makrashu.
I'm telling you, it is the duo in the back there, Pascaro and Makrashu. They're both doing so well, holding it there in the middle.
You just wonder if South Korea is still saving a little bit here. Because they know that if they have to at some point in this match go on an all-out attack to try and score a goal, they got to have their legs. They got to be ready for it. Great ball here by Makrashu. Left foot try. Could be the first for France, and crunch off the crossbar. That was Gavary. She's asking head referee Wout Heidel how there wasn't a foul, and Gavary crunches one off the crossbar. Still 0-0.
We have been talking about the entire tournament. That crossbar could be a friend or a foe for these teams, and it has not been friendly for Gavary in that play.
Boy, that was built from the back yet again, and within seconds, France was inside the 18. That was a beautiful ball by Branvach. Take a look at this. On a one-time into the box, Ji Hee Ha was a little bit indecisive, as you see there, Shelby. Gavary couldn't believe it didn't go in. See off the crossbar there, and couldn't believe there wasn't a foul called on the keeper and Ji Hee Ha. That would have set up a penalty. Now South Korea the other way. I like what I've seen from Branvach. That ball was marvelous. Here's Boudot, who's well off her line. She's the left back for France, and now sprinting back there. That ball there by Sungmyeon.
These teams so great at transitioning on the counter. We've seen it here in the past couple of minutes. Just a matter of seconds and the other team is on the offensive.
Gavary tried to back heel it to Corbos. '60th minute, still 0-0. 30-plus minutes to go to decide who's going to meet with Cameroon in the gold medal match, as Shuli Pascaro has been working so hard as the center back is down and in a lot of pain. Inadvertent there from Sunmi On, but doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. So Pascaro, we're hoping that she's okay. She's down on the turf over there, being tended to by the trainer. Gives a chance here for us to talk, Shelby. What have we seen here in the second half? Do we like what we've seen? Let's start with South Korea. Feels like a little bit here in the second half. They're getting outplayed a little bit by this French team.
I think the French team has come out hard here, and they're really dominating the field and offensively, but South Korea has a few counters and chances there to score. But like you said, the French team is really doing a great job at pressing it out to the flanks and crossing it in to get it to those key players up front to get a chance on the goal.
Sub coming on for South Korea.
Coming off the field, number 7.
So Do Young Ban is coming off. Coming on to the pitch is Hyun Ah Park. So Hyun Ah Park is in. Do Young Ban is out. So we got a stoppage there. We're also going to get the hydration break here within the next 10 minutes or so. Maybe that's when South Korea talks it over and says this is the time to go all out. I know a lot of fans might be thinking here, this was not a good decision. Could be a chance here for South Korea. So Young. Ina Park, and then to Hyo Shang-shim. Hanul Kwan, they're trying to get her some space in the middle, but France has been all over her, much like that. That's going to be a foul called. That goes against Melissa Goudard, so this will be a free kick here for South Korea. And you can see the frustration there from Hanul Kwan. Hyun Ah Park to take the free kick here for South Korea. All it takes is one, Shelby. One opportunity. Hyun Ah Park just checked into the match. Could she make the difference? Hyun Ah Park over the head of the keeper. There's a scrum inside the 6 and then a save for Dupapech. Boy, was that dangerous there for France. Dupapech kind of swung and missed. She mistimed her jump. It was a beautiful ball by Hyun Ah Park. And then give credit to Dupapech for scrambling to make the save.
She did her job there, defending her goal, just missing it and then getting back and able to get a second touch on the ball. And great job on her defenders there for trying to cover her goal when she did make that missed touch. It
was Shuli Pascaro. Give Pascaro the credit there. She was able to deflect it to give Dupapech enough time to get back and make the save. Shuli Pascaro right now has been the MVP of this match as the center back for France. She has made it so that South Korea has not had many good looks. They only have 3 shots in this match. It's a South Korean team who had 6 against Canada, 4 against Mali, 4 against the Dutch. They are averaging a little over 4 goals per match. Shuli Paskaro saves the day there as she allows Dupapek to get back. Gorbos, good ball. Here's Gavary. Duporsche out wide. This is Braun Vogt. Braun Vogt with some space, trying to cross it in. Paulison was there. Paulison can't believe there's not a handball. Play still goes on. Is it going to be saved? It's not. It's going to be a French corner. And Sarah Paulison is looking for a handball or an elbow, one of the two. And she is not happy with Wout Heidel, the referee.
What an exciting few minutes here. Just the counterattacks and being able to ping the ball right there in front of the goal. We know it is scary being in front of the goal with tons of people there, players bouncing off each other and still not making it in the back of the net.
So Christy Gavary, who tried to set up Braun Vogt, now trying to set up a goal for France. Chance off the head. It's wide of the mark. It was off of Paskaro. And it's a goal kick. Another sub. More fresh legs are coming on for South Korea. 16 checking into the match. That is Jin Young No. Jin Young No, this is one of the first times we've seen her, Shelby, in this tournament. So 16 in for 19. So Da Young Choi is off. 16 for 19.
Maybe the South Korea coaching staff thinking new legs, new fresh ideas, some new experience here for the team, and maybe that will be the turning point for the team here to score a goal.
So that's the 3rd sub for South Korea, but they subbed once at the half, so they're allowed to sub on 2 more players here in this second half. You could sub 3 different times, 5 different players, but if you sub at the half, it does not count as one of those 3. And France, guess what? They have yet to sub. Maybe some tired legs, but it hasn't looked like it. France has been the aggressor here in the second half. Much like this, a lot of space. Lara almost dispossessed. That is Gudar. Gudar didn't boot it well. That is Hyoshung Shim with the interception. Hanul Kwan. Hanul Kwan out wide here. Chung Min Lee stops, waits for some teammates here on the attack. Going to switch sides of the pitch, but Budo with that length, Shelby. You see, she's close to 6 feet tall. Good wingspan. She's able to stop it with the left foot, and now she's going to get set up. But instead, it's going to be In Young Sa getting back at the right time. Chance here for South Korea. Songmi-an. Songmi-an out wide. Could this be the opportunity? Songmi-an makes a move to the right, deflected by who else but Paskaro, and she allows Dupapek to get on the ball.
South Korea has been on the offensive and trying to make these plays here right through the middle. They think that they can dribble around these players in the middle. Paskaro and Marisho being able to stop the ball right there before the 18.
And now looking directly into the sun. This is about the time, Shelby, when the sun gets a lot worse here. It is 5 o'clock on the dot, Pacific time. Which means it's now 9 in the morning in South Korea. It's breakfast and football, or maybe work and football, or maybe a combination of the 3. In France, it's 2 in the morning. And you know, there's a lot of people staying up late in France, hoping that they can draw or win to get to the gold medal match. Ina Park. Ina Park dispossessed there, but a foul is going to be called against Shuli Makrashu.
Another chance here for South Korea to get it in the back of the net, just at the 30-yard line.
Anissa Belkacemi, who had a brace last match against Canada, scored in the 64th and 68th minutes, is getting ready to check in. He's joined by a teammate over there as well, but while Tydell is not going to allow the two substitutes right now. Instead, he's going to let Hyun-Ah Park take the free kick for South Korea here in the 70th minute. 0-0 between South Korea and France. Hyun-Ah Park into the 18, off the chest, could be the first, and what a save by Dupapet. Boy, a golden opportunity for Jin Young No. Jin Young No was 1v1 with the keeper, and for now, the hero is Dupapet, making one of the saves of her life. Another beautiful ball by Hyun-Ah Park on the free kick. And Jin Young No slipped past the back line of France. But Audrey Dupapet, who mistimed the jump on the last free kick, was right there to make the save. Take a look.
Just being so decisive, like we talked about, making sure a body part got on her. It wasn't even her hands or her foot. It was like her knees, her shins that got in front of the ball and stifled that shot. What a great job by Dupapet.
Wow, so this is pretty stunning here. This is going to be the hydration break. I want to get, before we come to us in the booth, I want to get these subs in here. There's two subs checking in for France. So it's going to be Anissa Belkacemi checking in for, looked like maybe Paulison. So Paulison is coming off, and then 12 is going to be in for 15. So Fanny Prony is checking into the match for Christy Galvary. So Paulison is going to come off the pitch. I'm stunned by that. Belkacemi is going to come on. So it's 19 for 9 if you're scoring at home. I have to write these down before we talk here in the booth here, Shelby. But those two coming on to the pitch, and as we said, 12 for 15. So Prony is in for Galvary. So those are the subs as these teams talk it over. Teams trickling back on here, Shelby. But coming to us in the booth here, 72nd minute. Alex Gould alongside me is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. And Shelby, this is it. The final 18-plus minutes. France, if they hold on here to the draw, they go to the gold medal match. If they win, they go to the gold medal match. South Korea needs a goal here. In the final 18 minutes, it's do or die.
I think we're going to see a lot more aggression, a lot more physicality, and a lot more fast-paced plays here in the last remaining minutes of the game to make sure that South Korea can at least get a goal or France can hold it.
Isn't this fun?
Too much.
All right, we're back here. 73rd minute between South Korea and France. When, Shelby, does head coach Mi-Yeon Lee decide it is time for the all-out attack? Could this be the time to do it? And you have the ball on your attacking half. Instead, playing it back. Da-hee Thong. Now In-young Sa. In-young Sa hoping someone can make a run here. That's Song Mi-on over there, as well as a couple of other teammates. South Korea has waited patiently in this match. Another opportunity here. Hyun-Ah Park dispossessed. Terrific 1v1 defense yet again. That time by Mahrashu. Here's Prony, who just checked in. Prony working 1v1 on Arum Han. Prony talked about her speed. Blazing inside the penalty area. Prony goes down, no call. While Tydell was right there on top of the play. Kept the whistle down.
those counterattacks, we've seen it. It was all the way over here by the goalie with the South Korean team, and now back over here on the defense for South Korea.
Fans here on the edge of their seats, many of them standing and pacing, waiting in anticipation here. Now 15 plus minutes to go. Will either side blink? So no Paulison into the match. No Gavary. Two critical players for France, but Prony and Belkacemi have been critical as well. Enoch Park with a good run, goes down, no foul called on Boudreau. We play on yet again. There's Belkacemi who just checked in. Had the brace against Canada. And gets the arm caught up, so it's a foul against Ji Young No. South Korea had two brilliant opportunities. One was on the free kick by Hyun-Ah Park, and it was a nice job defensively by Pascaro to get back and give her keeper and Dupapech enough time to get the ball inside the 6. Then, about 5 minutes ago, Hyun-Ah Park tried to set up Ji Young No, and she did set up Ji Young No, but a kick save by Dupapech, and that's why we are tied 0-0. Then for France, their best chance was by Gavary. Gavary crunched one off the crossbar. So there have been chances on both sides. Both have played to a 0-0 draw as of now. Pascaro looking for Pronvacht. If you wanted the drama, this is the drama.
Well, you were talking, Alex, earlier about the fans being on the edge of their seats, but I'm almost falling off my seat here watching the game.
While Taitel saying one more time, he'll pull out the yellow card, talking to Chongmin Lee there.
And Chongmin Lee is playing with a yellow card, so another one for her. And she is going to be out of the next match.
Right, and so playing with the yellow card that she received in a previous match. Didn't pick up a yellow card here. Fanny Prony. Can Prony get there? I think she's going to run out of real estate. She is very quick, but not that quick to get to that ball there. That was a bullet off the right foot of Pascaro. Canada and Mali, they are here. They are waiting their final match of Group B. Mali looking for their second ever win in the CISM World Military Women's Football Championship. Canada looking for their first win in this tournament, also looking for their first tally. So I hope you can join us at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And then everyone, including our crew who's worked so hard, gets a breather tomorrow before we're back for the bronze medal match at noon on Friday and the gold medal match at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Friday as well. And we talked about all-out attacks. We talked about parking the bus. Sometimes the best form of defense is pushing on your attacking third, but if you do so, Shelby, you better be wary of a counterattack by South Korea. There's still time in this match, but we're heading into the 79th minute. Like we said, time is not a friend of South Korea. Very much a friend of the French. Duporsche went down. Some space. Hyung-Seok Shim. Hyung-Seok Shim. Song Mi On gets taken down. While Tydell allowed the play to continue, and it's going to be a goal kick because of the shot there by Sung-Mi Ahn. So while Tydell allowed the continuation there, allowed the play to go on, and then after the shot attempt, said that was enough of an action and an attack there for South Korea to allow the goal kick by Tupapech.
I think, too, after that, all of the action there and right there in front of the goal box and then just miss-kicking it. I know there was so much disappointment there for Sung-Mi Ahn.
Belkacemi tried to get in the way. Job by the right back there, and Lara to get to it. Here's a give and go, and it's snuffed out that time by Dupourche because France does the same thing, Shelby. Dupourche was all over that. Fanny Prony. Can she get past Arum Han, but too much there. Tried to play it to herself. Instead, it's to Da Hee Thong. Sung-Mi Ahn, she's found some space at times, and now she sets up Yina Park. Han Yul Kwan, the captain, good ball, right foot trying to save by Dupapech. What did I just say there, Shelby? Sung-Mi Ahn has slipped through the back line a couple of times now. France has not marked her well enough. This sets up a dangerous corner kick over on the far flank.
You have to think the South Korean coaching staff said and knew that number 10, Sung-Mi Ahn, can make those plays, and you can see it out here. That's why she was subbed in, making those plays and making it opportunities for her team to score a goal.
10 minutes to go, 81st minute. This South Korean crowd is getting loud. Sung-Mi Ahn to take the corner. Inside the penalty area, player goes down and a foul was called against Ing Young Saw. That was Pascaro who hit the deck, and this will waste some time as Pascaro stays down and is fixing the shoe. Two more subs going to check in. Two sets of fresh legs for France. 6 and 20 are going to check in. So that's Tiffany Brissonnet going to come into the match, as well as Lina Tivion. So 6 is in for 7. So Marion Branvacht, who had a splendid match, is out. Brissonnet is in. And then, so 20 is in for 3. So 20, as I mentioned, is Tivion coming in for Morgan Dupourche. You're going to get a lot of defenders coming in here, Shelby, because this could be the time that France says, hey, we'll play defensive-minded. They don't need a goal in this match. They just have to prevent South Korea from getting one.
And two, the French have been playing so well, so hard, and giving the other team, or giving the players a chance to rest their legs and getting some new legs out there can help the offensive attack there as well.
Sung-Mi Ahn almost got there. Collision between Dupapech as well as the center back there in Makrashu. Makrashu collided with the keeper and her own keeper. She's still down. That was also dangerous there. Makrashu let it go. Good decision to do so, though, because Dupapech came out. That's communication.
And you heard it. Dupapech yelled, screamed, mine, I got it, letting her teammate know, hey, leave it, I can boot it farther than you may be able to kick it out.
That was the South Korean crowd again. You see there, noon Pacific time bronze medal match. South Korea and France, one of the two versus the United States, the hosts, and then at 4 p.m. Pacific time for all the marbles. Cameroon trying to become the first African nation ever to win the gold. They will take on the winner of this match, or if it's a draw, they will take on France. So that time, of course, it took for Makrashu to get up. It's going to be added to additional time and added to stoppage. Mascaro tried to find the head of Belkacemi. Instead, it was off the head of Dahi Thon. There's some space here for Brisonnet, who just checked in. Over on the far flank. This is Tivion. Tivion tried to ping it off a defender there in Hyun-Ah Park. Tivion, such good speed. How about Tivion inside the penalty area? Tivion to Belkacemi. It's deflected, and a foul called against Anissa Belkacemi.
What a play for Tivion, coming straight off the bench to dribbling around 2-3 defenders to try to make a play there in the middle.
It's time to go for South Korea. They're still fine to play through their backs, but you're going to see them push a plethora up towards at least the middle of the pitch, if not further. They must score here to get to the gold medal match. Hyun-Ah Park, so much speed. Sungmi On. Sungmi On, waiting. Makrashu on her. Sungmi On goes down. That's a foul on Makrashu.
Not a lot of time here, but you know what? Just enough time for a couple of plays and maybe some goal-making shots here.
Hyun-Ah Park, 2 phenomenal free kicks. Is the 3rd time the charm for South Korea. France has had a problem, Shelby, defending this exact situation from this exact spot. Hyun-Ah Park into the penalty area. Instead, Makrashu skies to make the play. That was the first ball we've seen there from Hyun-Ah Park that hung up just enough for Dupapek to get it. Now called there against Belkacemi. What's the strategy here, Shelby? If you're France, is it park the bus time? Marc Mouffra, the head coach and the manager for France, got to be thinking that this is part of the strategy. They're okay with a 0-0 draw. Cannot allow a goal in the late stages. South Korea, you can see all their players at least at the middle of the pitch here. That's as far back as anyone is. That's In Young Sa. First time that South Korea has had their backs against the wall in this tournament. How big was that goal by the Dutch in added time? Otherwise, these two nations would have the exact same goal differential. Then it would go to goals for. We have to take a look at that to see who had more, but that is not the scenario. 88th minute.
You have to think about it the way that this tournament is set up. The teams have to give it their all every single game because it all adds up in the end.
With that Dutch goal, they could help their European counterparts get to the gold medal match. Belkacemi with some space. Looking for Brisonnet, but Brisonnet cut the wrong way, and this is not what you want if you're France. Could be a counterattack. Hanul Kwan. Jin Young No. Jin Young No. Great deflection there by Tivion. 2 subs getting ready to check in for South Korea. That was pushed out there by Tivion. 2 subs coming in. $18 is in for 12. So taking a look here, that is Jin So Moon. Jin So Moon is coming on for Yi Na Park. So Moon in for Park. And also 14 is in for 13. So Da Un Kwan is in for Chung. So Da Un Kwan is in for Chung Min Lee. So Da Un Kwan in for Chung Min Lee.
Great boot.
90th minute here. There will be 5 minutes, a minimum of 5 minutes added. So a little over 5 minutes to go here. France trying to strike. If they get a goal, it'll all but shore themselves into the gold medal match. Belkacemi, back heel, what a ball, Tivillon, Corbeau's, and it pings off the post into the back of the net. They can smell it back in France. There's the first in the 90th minute of the match by Rachel Corbeau's, who pinged one off the post. And France, unless they allow 2 goals, have a date with Cameroon on Friday.
The skill right there, just passing it back there and then being able to pass it through. The one touch is right there in the goal box to get that goal. 1-0 France over South Korea here at Spokane.
Truly remarkable. Belkacemi, Tivillon, Corbeau's, one post to the tire on the net on the other post there. And France is about 5 minutes away from a celebration. And by the way, Rachel Corbeau's had not scored in this tournament yet. And she's coming off the pitch. Marc Moufra and the sideline should erupt when they greet Rachel Corbeau's. So 11 is in for 10. It's Pauline Cousin who comes in for Corbeau's, who just scored the goal. Could be the hero. South Korea, they need 2 goals, not just 1, but you got to set up the first before you get the second. Jin So Moon, good deflection yet again by Tivillon. So it went Belkacemi with the back heel inside the penalty area, Shelby. Tivillon immediately gets it to Corbeau's. That was one of the prettiest plays we've seen all tournament.
And what a perfect play to actually end on for the French team here.
So South Korea here. Inside the penalty area. France trying to clear. Now you park the bus, Shelby.
I was just thinking that we have 5 minutes, a little less than 5 minutes or so. The French has to stop any attempt here in the next couple of minutes.
Tivillon got pushed there, and that's a foul on Jin So Moon. Time is ticking away for South Korea. Boy, it was 2 substitutes who just checked in. Give a lot of credit to the players and the women first and foremost in Belkacemi and Tivillon. Then Corbeau's, who started this match, who just checked off, scored the goal. But Marc Moufra, the manager, the head coach for France, pushed the right buttons at the right time. Here's Fanny Prony. What's better than 1 is 2, but Prony couldn't keep it alive.
Well, you have to think about the tons of benefits you have bringing in new players, but that is one of them. Giving fresh legs, new ideas here, and a little bit new runs against the players that the South Korean team may not have defended yet. So getting a chance to get around that team, and it worked out for the French in getting a goal there.
We said who was going to blink first. We talked about that a couple of times. South Korea blinked and France capitalized in the 90th minute. Belkacemi has Prony out wide. Prony could have a 1v1 with a keeper in Jihiha. Prony trying to dance. Prony plays it back. Belkacemi misses high.
You know, I think Prony might have been a little too unselfish there. I think she had that perfect 1v1, but nice of her as a teammate to pass it off to see if we could get it crossed in the middle.
I thought so too. I thought Prony had a chance to play it back to her left, or at least get back to the middle of the 18 where there was still some green there. Instead played it to Belkacemi, but then Belkacemi had a great look. So it's hard to fault Prony for doing what she did. It was a perfect pass, and Belkacemi couldn't believe she didn't finish, coming off of her brace against Canada. In Young Sa, final minute or so here in what we've called the semi-final showdown between these two. Still the group stage, but this played out to be the semi-final that everyone wanted to see. Prony now going to waste some time. South Korea needs 2 goals here in the final 30 seconds of this match. Sung Mi-on couldn't keep it in. And now it's up to Wout Heitel, the referee from Belgium. He may allow one last attack for South Korea, but there won't be time for a second. France, moments away here in Spokane. Foul is called. France trying to get back to the gold medal match for the first time since 2016, when they were the hosts. And that is it. France is on to the gold medal match, where they have a date with destiny. They will take on Cameroon at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Friday. It was a 90th minute goal by Rachel Corbeau. That's the difference. And the French are so fired up here in Spokane.
We saw this. These teams were perfect for each other here, the last game in group play, and really determining who's going to be going to the gold medal and the bronze medal matches. And really credits to Dupapé in the background in the goal box, defending any shot that the South Korean team had.
And my MVP in this match is still Shuli Pascaro. I think what she did as the center back, she did not allow any of the attackers to do anything in this match. And remember that play. France may remember it forever, when that ball was inside the 18, inside the penalty area, just outside the 6, and Pascaro boxed out In Young Sa from South Korea to allow Dupapé to get back after she mistimed the jump.
Well, Cameroon, if you're watching, that is who you're going to be playing in the gold medal match, and I hope you were able to see their play, and I think it's going to be a great match here on Friday between Cameroon and the French and the U.S. and South Korea.
So that locks in South Korea to the bronze medal match. It'll be South Korea and the United States at 12 p.m. Pacific time, so that's at noon Pacific time here in Spokane. Gold medal match is set. Cameroon trying to become the first African nation ever to win the gold medal. To do so, they got to beat this French unit that is trying to win their first gold since 2016. It would be their second goal in its military nation's history. What a match it was. Corbeau is the difference. France is on to the gold medal match. They defeat South Korea in the 90th minute, 1-0. We have one final match here in Group B. It is Mali taking on Canada at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Congratulations again to France. They're on to the gold medal match.